Hello students, today we are going to discuss the topic thermodynamics. Now, it is the chapter that deals with the energy changes during a physical processes. Deals with the energy changes during a physical process. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the some basic terms. Okay, now system. First is a system. System is the object which is used in the thermodynamic study. The object which is used in the thermodynamic study, and the walls of this system is known as boundary. The wall that separates system from surroundings. Now we are going to discuss about the surroundings. The part of the universe other than the system is called surroundings. The part of system other than, for instance, here the part of universe. Universe other than the system. Now we will discuss with the help of the diagram. This is the surroundings. For instance, it is the system, and these are the boundaries. This is the boundaries, and the part, and these are the surroundings. These are the surroundings. And the part of the universe that constitutes system plus surrounding known as the universe. This is the universe. So we can say that system plus surroundings gives rise to universe. Now we have discussed what is meant by thermodynamics. A thermodynamics is that deals with energy changes. That deals with the energy changes during a physical process. Now the terms using thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, the system, the object which is used in the thermodynamic study. Boundary, the wall that separates the system from the surroundings. Surroundings, the part of the universe other than the system. Other than, sorry, it is other than system. It is other than the system. Now system plus surrounding gives rise to universe. This is the diagrammatical way. Now we are going to discuss the types of walls. Now types of walls. Now there are two types of walls in the real type. Two types of walls are present. One is A is adiabatic and the second one is B is diathermal. Adiabatic represents there is no heat loss with the surroundings. No heat loss with the surroundings. Now diathermal wall is the heat loss. There is a heat loss with the surroundings. Heat will exchange with, for instance, with the surroundings. Okay, now we have discussed about the types of walls in the rigid type. Okay, now in the flexible type there is one. It is movable and immovable. Movable, and the second case is immovable. Movable is the one in which the one of the walls can move. One of the walls can move. That means it is flexible type. Okay. The example is piston. Okay. Now in the second one, the walls are fixed. The walls are fixed. That means the container can't move. That means the walls of the container cannot move. Now we have discussed the types of walls. Types of walls. There are two types of walls in rigid type and two types of walls in flexible type. And adiabatic. thermal in rigid, and movable and immovable in flexible type. Now we are going to discuss the types of systems. Types of systems. There are three types of systems. One is open type. Open type is the one in which the system can exchange heat and matter with the surroundings. Can exchange heat and matter with the surroundings. Now there is a second type called closed type. Closed type is the one which can exchange heat only with the surroundings. Now isolated. Isolated type. They can't exchange heat and matter with the surroundings. Can't exchange heat and matter with the surroundings. Now we have discussed about the types of systems, in which there are three types. The one is open type, second one is closed type, and third one is isolated type. In the open type, the system can exchange heat and matter to the surroundings. In the closed type, the system can exchange only heat to the surroundings. In the isolated type, the system cannot exchange heat and matter with the surrounding. Now we have discussed about the basic terms in the thermodynamics. Now we are going to discuss the laws in the thermodynamics. Now we are going to discuss about the laws of thermodynamics. Laws of thermodynamics. There are three types of laws, in which the zeroth law, first law, and second law are present. Three types: zeroth law, first law, and the second law. Now we are going to discuss about the zeroth law. Zeroth law. Now we are going to draw the diagram constituting three particles: A, B, and then C. A, B, and then C. Okay. Now, if A is in thermal equilibrium with C, and B is also in thermal equilibrium with C. Now we are going to discuss what is meant by thermal equilibrium. Now thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium means the temperature of the bodies, two bodies, will be in equilibrium. That means they are same. The temperature of two bodies in contact are same. For suppose if the A and C are in thermal equilibrium and B and C are in thermal equilibrium. Now for suppose C's body's temperature is for suppose 25 degrees Celsius, and we have seen that in thermal equilibrium the temperature of the two bodies are same. Now as we have seen in A and C, they are in thermal equilibrium. So the A's body temperature should be 25 degrees Celsius. Now for B and C, the body's temperature is also are in equilibrium. So the B's temperature should be 25 degrees Celsius. Now as we seen here, the body temperature of A and body temperature of B is same. So A and B are also in thermal equilibrium. So we can state the zeroth law as if two bodies are in thermal equilibrium with other body, then the two bodies are in thermal equilibrium. In thermal equilibrium. Now here the two bodies are A and B are in thermal equilibrium with another body C. Now then the two bodies, so here the A and B are also in thermal equilibrium. This is the zeroth law diagram, and this is the statement of the zeroth law, and this is the definition of the thermal equilibrium. Okay, now we are going to discuss the first law of thermodynamics. Okay students, we have discussed about zeroth law. Now first law. Now first law states that the heat exchanged by a body is equal to the internal energy plus the work done. So heat is denoted by Q or delta Q because heat is exchanged, and the work done is delta W, the change in work done, plus delta U. This is the mathematical expression of the first law of thermodynamics. Okay. Now we are going to use the sign conventions. Sign conventions. Now if heat is added to the system, heat is added, then H is positive. H is positive. If heat is removed from the system, removed, then heat is negative. Now work done. If temperature, sorry students, here delta U means represent the temperature. If temperature is rises, if temperature rises, then U is positive. If temperature falls, then U is negative. Now if the volume is increased, now or work done by the system, work done. Now here there are two types. Work is done by the system and work is done on the system. Work is done by the system, then work done is positive. If work done on the system, or we can write work done on the system, so work done is negative. Now these are the sign convention we are using in this thermodynamics chapter. Now we are going to discuss this. If heat is added to the system, that is here H or Q will be same. H is equal to positive. If heat is removed, H is negative. If temperature rises, the U is positive, and if temperature falls, U is negative. If work done by the system, now work done by the system means work is done by the system. Now if I am the human being, now I am doing the work on the block. This is a duster. This is the block, for suppose. I am doing the work, so my work done will increase. So W is positive. And if the work is done on the system, work done is negative. Now we are going to discuss about the work done. Now we are going to discuss about work done. Okay, work done. Now, what is meant by work done? We know the formula for work done. Work done is equal to force dot displacement. W is equal to F dot dx. Here dx means the change in displacement. Now the diagram, if pressure is increased by the piston, now the volume will decrease. The volume will become like this. The volume will become like this. So from the Boyle's law, we can say that if P increases, volume will decreases. Now we know that the formula for force in terms of pressure and area. F is equal to pressure into area. in the place of force here, we can substitute pressure into area. Work done is equal to PA into dx. Now, in the place of A into dx, we can substitute delta V. Now, work done is equal to P into delta V. Now, if the for a finite change in volume, we are going to the apply integrations. Integral W is equal to, or here dW, sorry students, here it will become dW. Integral dW is equal to, here integral V1 to V2 P dot dV, and this whole term will equal to W. So in the place of dW we can substitute W. Okay, we will write here W is equal to integral V1 to V2 P into delta V. Now it is the integrated form. If for instance here P is constant, so we can return like this. Now if we want to write in the form of temperature, we can write it as, now we are going to have this. Now if we want to write in the form of temperature, we know that from the ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT. Now we have the change in volume, so here N and R will be constant, so the changing factor is temperature. So P into delta V is equal to nR into delta T. Now for the P, if we integrate this, we get P into V1 V2 into delta V is equal to, here nR is constant, nR into integral T1 T2 upon delta T. Now the whole term will become W. W is equal to nR into, now if we solve this integration value, we can get nR into T2 minus T1. Now for ideal gases, okay, now we have discussed about the work done. Now we are going to discuss about the internal energy. Now there is an important point that internal energy cannot be calculated individually, but we can find the change in integral value. We can't find the individual values. Okay, or individual values, but we can find the change in internal energy, but we can find the change in internal energy, that is delta U. Delta U is equal to U final minus U initial. here also it is delta W. So the change in work done, this is the delta U and it is delta W. We have discussed the heat in the earlier chapters also. Okay, the internal energy is the sum of the all energies in the system. That means kinetic energy, potential energy, nuclear energy, and so on. The electrostatic energy and so on, gravitational energy and so on. Now we are going to discuss what in these three terms. That means delta Q, delta W and delta U, which are the state functions and which are the path functions. Now and also it will define the what is in by state function and what is in by path function. Okay students, have you copied it? Okay students, now we are going to discuss what is in by state function and what is in by path function. State function. State function means it is the property which depends only on the in the initial and the final position and not on the path followed by the particle. Like in the conservative and non-conservative work forces, the conservative forces are the one which depends on the initial and final position. Like here, the state functions is the one which depends only on the path. It is the initial and the final position, but not on the path. So we can write it as the functions which depends only on initial and the final positions. Initial and final positions, but not on the path followed by the particle or the quantity. But not the path followed by the quantity. As of the thermodynamics, there is a quantity that is known as internal energy. This is for the first law. Example, internal energy. Out of the delta Q, delta W and delta U for the chapter thermodynamics. And we have also the change in entropy. Now what on path functions? Path functions. Now what is my path function? It is the opposite of the state function. That means the quantity which depends on the path followed by the to reach the final state from the initial state. Okay? The quantity which depend upon the path followed by the particle or the system, but done. Now, in a diagrammatical way, we can represent the state and fast functions as here the initial and here the final. Now, a particle travels in a straight line or in a curved or in a zigzag way. It reaches the final position, but the state functions are the one which depends only on the initial and the final positions. Now, the path functions which depend on the path. In which way that is the particle is traveled, either in a straight line, a line joining between this, or in a circular path, or in a zigzag way. Now we have completed the discussing state function and path function. But there is important point is for a cyclic process. For a cyclic process, the diagram is look like this diagram. The diagram looks, it is a circular way. In which the initial position and the final position is same. So the state function is 0. So internal energy is 0. So delta U is 0. And if the cycle is clockwise, so the volume, for the volume, it is increasing. So the work done is positive. For the clockwise cycle, it is the work done is positive and delta Q is also positive. For the anti-clockwise, the volume is decreasing and the work done is also decreased. So delta U will decrease. We will write it here. For the clockwise, delta W is positive, and for the anti-clockwise, delta W is negative. Okay, student, we will discuss about cyclic process in a separate topic after discussing the first thermodynamic processes. Now we are going to discuss the applications. Okay, we have only two types of applications. In which one is boiling, melting, and the boiling. One, melting. Two is boiling. Okay. Now first we are going to discuss about what is the volume change. It is a short increase in volume or a short change in volume. First we are going to discuss in the melting process. Here delta V is nearly equal to 0. So delta W is equal to 0. For the state change, delta Q is equal to m into latent heat of vapor fusion. equal to delta U. And from the first law of thermodynamics, the equation is delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. Here delta W is 0 and delta Q is equal to ml. So ml is equal to delta U. It is for the melting process, and for the boiling process the volume cannot be equal to 0 because the liquids converted to products. So the volume can't change equal to 0. Here delta V is equal to V V gases minus V liquids, and the delta W is equal to P into V gases minus V liquids, and the delta U is delta U, or U2 minus U1, you can write it as U2 minus U1. Now here delta Q is equal to ml vaporization, because the liquid is converted to vapors. So we can write it as, from the first law, ml vapor is equal to U2 minus U1 plus P into V gases minus V liquids. This is the for the boiling process. Now the applications are melting and the boiling process. In the melting process, the volume change is finite, very less, and it changes to 0. So delta W is equal to 0. And in the volume and the boiling process, the change in volume is considerable. So Vg minus Vl. So delta W is equal to P into Vg minus Vl, and delta Q is equal to ml fusion. And here delta is vaporization, because here vapors are formed and here the fused, and delta Q is called delta U plus delta W for the first law, and here delta W is 0, and ml is called delta U for the melting process, and here delta Q is called mlv. From the first law, we can write it as mlv U plus gives rise to U2 minus U1 plus P into V2 minus V1. Now we have completed the melting and the boiling process. Now we are going to discuss the thermodynamical processes. There are 4 types of thermodynamical processes. First, we are going to discuss individually, and then at last we are going to draw graphs between the 4 thermodynamical processes for PV graph, PT graph and VT graph. First, we are going to discuss the thermodynamical processes in this session, and the graphs and the work done comparison in the next session. Okay? Now we are going to write table. Okay. Now the first is serial number, and this the thermodynamic process. Or we can expand this thermodynamic process, and the constant term. What is the constant here in the particular term? Constant term. And what is the equation of state? is the work done. Sorry students, I will have big work done. And the first law of thermodynamics, or I write it as FLTT, first law of thermodynamics. Now, okay, first process is isobaric, in which pressure is constant. So the equation will become like this: V by T is equal to constant, and the work done is equal to P into delta V. And from the first law, we can write it as delta Q is equal to delta W, no sorry students, U plus P into delta V. For the constant press, okay, we will discuss additional term. We will discuss additional after discussing this in the next session. Second, it is isochoric. Isochoric means V is constant, and here the equation of state gives P is equal to constant. So here the volume is constant, so work done is equal to 0, and here delta Q is equal to delta U. For the constant term, delta U, for the constant volume, delta U is equal to N into Cv into delta T. Delta U is equal to N into Cv into delta T. Okay. Now for the third process, it is isothermal. As we have seen here, it is isothermal. Here temperature is constant. Temperature is constant means PV is equal to constant. Now the work done will become nRT into ln V2 upon V1, or W is equal to nRT into ln P1 upon P2. Here the temperature is constant, so delta U will become 0. So delta Q is equal to delta W. And we are going to discuss the last thermodynamic process, that is adiabatic. As we have discussed in the types of walls, adiabatic wall, so that there is no heat exchange. So here Q is constant, and we can justify what is the constant term. So we can put a dash, and so sorry students, we have the 3 PV power of gamma is equal to constant. First I will write these 3 terms, and I will then prove it is TV power of gamma minus 1 is equal to constant. Okay. Sorry students, I will write first this, and I will discuss and I will prove the other 2 relationships. Okay. W is equal to NR into T2 minus T1 upon gamma minus 1. Sorry students, I am not making a box here. Okay, now here delta U is equal to minus of delta W. Okay, now in this scene of this in this it is a tabular form. You want to remember it is SNO, thermodynamic process, equation of constant time, equation of state, delta W, and first of thermodynamics, and this is the all one. Now I am going to prove the other two terms from this. Okay. Okay students, from the PV power of gamma is equal to constant, we are going to derive other three. Now, in the place of V, P is equal to nRT upon V. We can substitute here, these two are constant. So, in the place of P, we can substitute T by V into V to the power of gamma is equal to constant. So, T V power of gamma minus 1 is constant. Okay. Now, from this, V is equal to nRT upon P. We can find that here these two are constants. So, P into T to the power of gamma and P to the power of gamma is constant. So, we can get it out as T power of gamma and P to the power of 1 minus gamma is constant. So, in a tabulated form, you can write 3 as PV power of gamma is equal to constant. Okay, PV power of gamma is equal to constant and TV power of gamma minus 1 is constant, and T power of gamma and P power of 1 minus gamma is constant. Okay students, we have discussed the equation of states for the adiabatic process